Hi everyone, and welcome to Geek Boy, a Ghana story, starring me, your host, Geek Boy Meta, otherwise known as Leon Kofi Mousy Gabbiano, born on Friday in the hands of God. See, I do know a bit of Ghanaian after all. Yeah, hi guys. So, for anyone who's wondering what's going on, basically, my YouTube channel is Geek Boy Meta 7381, and I cover random things like horror, Liverpool wrestling, Comic Cons, blah 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 blah. But recently I've been wanting to get to, I don't know how to say it really, get to know my roots a bit more, and I've been thinking a lot about Ghana recently because, basically, long story short, my old fellow was Ghanaian, and he passed, unfortunately, like 27, 28 years ago, whenever it was, so I've kind of lost that side of me a little bit to an extent, because Dad was my link to Ghana. But obviously I've been wanting to know a little bit more now, and obviously seeing the national team doing so well and this, that and the other. And yeah, it's probably just an old man wanting to discover himself. But yeah, basically I've got a couple of new playlists. Geek Boy, a Ghana story, which this will be on, and Geek Boy and Ghana, which is like a more general, like, it's got all my football stuff on and so on and so forth. But yeah, so this will be on Geek Boy, a Ghana story, I think, hopefully. Anyway, the thing that I wanted to talk about today was actually something that happened this year, or it could be next year, depending on when I actually release this. And basically it was when me and my brother, shout out to the bro, went to see Ghana versus Nigeria at Brentford. We won't mention the score, by the way. It wasn't good. Anyway, I think it was my brother that found out that there was this thing called the Unity Cup, and we were like, what's that? And then basically we saw on the laptop that it was Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Nigeria, and then Ghana. Well, I was like, well, we've got to go, because the last time I saw Ghana live was the 4-1 against Nigeria, funnily enough, at Brentford. Now, there'll be some British Ghanaians and some Ghanaians who travelled over who will remember the Brentford match. It was one of the most bizarre things I have ever seen in 45 years of living on this planet. We had pitch invasions, we had Brentford staff not letting Nigerian fans in, not letting Ghanaian fans in, people trying to break into the stadium because they wanted to see the game. All sorts of stuff kicking off, and it was insane, absolutely insane. So I was just like, well, surely it can't be as insane this time. And to be fair, it wasn't. There were a couple of instances that I'll get onto in a minute, but one of the last times Ghana were actually played here, I think they played at Millwall, and I forget who it was that they played. God knows who it was. But one of my big regrets is not going to see Ghana at Wembley Stadium, obviously, when Asamoah Gyan scored that amazing goal in that brilliant match. Honestly, if you've never seen it, by the way, younger Ghanaians or younger English kids or just general football fans, just type in Ghana 1, England 1, Ghana 1. It's one of the best football matches I've ever seen. Fair play to England as well, they were really, really good. But Ghana, I mean, with the least Ghana deserved was a point in that match. Yeah, where was I? So, yeah, I was like, well, I have to go, basically. Brother sent about getting the tickets, and then I was like, where is it? And it's like, you won't believe this, it's at Brentford. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. By the way, I'm not having to go to Brentford. Fantastic club, brilliant fans. It's just, we had a very, very poor experience. I mean, there might still be people at Brentford who remember that, and I'm sure they'll probably agree in hindsight it wasn't very well managed at all, to be quite honest. But to be fair, this one was absolutely fine in terms of management and getting people in. I mean, obviously it's like it was a ticket thing back in the day. It was like a paper thing, and obviously it's all on phones now, so it's probably slightly easier, I guess. So anyway, we buy the tickets. And we had to become members of Brentford Football Club for some reason. I think we're actually still members now. That's a good idea, actually. So I need to try and get Liverpool Brentford tickets next season. But yeah, so we had to become members or whatever. And then basically we go to the game. book a hotel, and we get the hotel. I'm trying to think where it is. Basically, if you live in Brentford, there's a Premier Inn. So if you go over the bridge from where the Brentford station is, go round the corner from a co-op, I think it is, walk all the way down the road. It's about 5 minutes away from the stadium, basically. So we're very, very excited. Check our bags in, get a Ghana kit on. My Ghana kit did not fit, so I had to put it over a hoodie in the height of summer because basically my belly was too big for my large Ghana shirt, which is very embarrassing, but still. So when the World Cup comes along, I will be buying new Ghana merch, and it's probably going to have to be 2 or 3XL at this point. Again, shout out to the wife, and thank you for putting up with that. So yeah, we've got our clobber on. We're walking down the road, and I think I forget when the kickoff was. I think it was like 7:30, Causeway, something along them lines. But we left with like an hour and a half to go. We're walking along. We're like, where the hell are all the fans? Because I didn't think it would be a sellout by any stretch. I don't think it was quite a sellout. I think it was a good 80% full, that stadium, but I didn't think it would be a sellout. But literally, we got around the corner from the back. Well, where the hell is everyone? And then all of a sudden, we saw a trickle of Ghanaian fans and a couple of Nigerian fans here and there, but mostly it was Ghana. So we go into this boozer, and again, the people of Brentford will know this better than I do. There's a boozer literally just round the corner from the stadium. So you go to this boozer, make a right turn, and then you go to the stadium. So I don't know what it's called, but basically we went there and had a couple of drinks. And there's this massive beer garden, and they had all these like traditional ales like IPAs and so on and so forth. And we sat there having a good time, and there's a load of Ghanaians about, and it's a good atmosphere. But all of a sudden, like these Nigerians walk in, and I looked at my brother and went, "Oh my God," because I've got English brain on. I'm like, it's going to kick off here. It's going to kick off royally. But again, English brain. The Nigerians just sat with the Ghanaians, and there was a bit of piss taking and banter here and there. But I mean, it was all good natured. But obviously, in this country, you can't really have Arsenal and Tottenham fans sitting next to each other before they start playing each other in the North London derby, for example, or Man United or Man City fans. But yeah, it was all good nature. So we're going to the stadium, and straight away the atmosphere was amazing. You could tell it was buzzing. People were really looking forward to this. But the bad part of this story is, my brother went to the bathroom and I went to look at to try and get something to eat and something to drink. And I had on these shorts that were like, you know, those shorts where they haven't got the zips, basically, like the open Adidas shorts. Didn't feel anything. I turned around to walk upstairs with my brother, and I felt for my wallet, and my wallet had gone. So, by the way, while I'm on this subject, if the little who stole my wallet at the Brentford Community Stadium is watching this, sir, you are a word that I'm not going to say because children watch my channel. A big word that I can't say because children watch my channel. So literally I was panic stricken. So basically the match had already started at this point, so I had to watch the first half. We went to go and speak to this fella who I need to give a big shout out to, by the way, who was like, give me your details and we'll let you know if something comes up. But me and my brother were due to stay another day. Well, I'm thinking to myself, well, I mean, I had 20 quid in my wallet, and obviously I can cancel the cards, but then I'm sat there going, oh, for God's sake, my brother's going to have to pay for me the whole day tomorrow, and I wanted to go shopping and do this, that, and the other, and he's going to have to pay for food and beer and so on and so forth, and I'm like, for God's sake. So tried to watch the first half, didn't enjoy it at all. Definitely didn't enjoy it because Nigeria went 2-0 up in, I can't even remember, I think it was 2-0 in the first half, and I want to say it was 2 in the first 30 minutes, and honestly, Ghana were all over the shop. And at this point, I'm thinking to myself, this is the second trip to Brentford. I do not believe this is the last time. The last time there was, none of us could get in the stadium, and the second time I've come to this area, I've had my bloody wallet nicked. Now, I don't know who nicked it, because we were all in the Ghana end. I have absolutely no idea, but obviously people watching this from London will know that you've got very good pickpockets there, and, like, I'd never been pickpocketed before, like, ever, and I don't even know how on earth it happened, but I knew I'd been pickpocketed because I had a boatload of change, and obviously if I'd dropped it, it would have smashed all over the floor, and there was no change to be seen. How on earth this well, man or woman, whoever it was, managed to do it. God alone knows. So yeah, the first half ends, and I'm sat there going, "It's just a disaster." Ghana have been completely outplayed. To be honest, they were lucky they weren't like 4-0 down. It was a dreadful, dreadful performance. Um, and yeah, all I had to show for it was basically that, my souvenir program. By the way, Mister, where the hell were you? Yeah, I was actually looking for, because just to cap it off as well, I was looking forward to seeing Semenyo and definitely Mohamed Kudus, because they're my two favourite Ghanaian players. And my brother tapped me on the shoulder. This was like on the way into the stadium, saying, "You do know both of them are in the squad, right?" And I'm just like, so at this point, I'm like, this is a complete disaster, right? Anyway, second half starts, and my phone goes off. I'm like, who the hell's this? And because I don't usually do withheld numbers, but all of a sudden I thought, hang on, wait a minute. And it's the bloke that I'd been speaking to about my wallet. And he rings up and he's like, "We found your wallet." "We found your wallet, mate." And I was like, "Well, where the hell did it go?" And this is the reason I knew it was stolen. He was like, "I'll just say it was recovered." And I was like, "Ah, right, okay." So someone, I mean, I'm guessing someone was beating a very hasty exit from the stadium and were caught by security. So if I hadn't spoke to that gent, and dude, whoever you are, shout out to you, by the way. That was awesome. Like I said, it's nothing to do with Brentford this time at all. At the end of the day, these things happen. Anyway, got the wallet back, and I was like, right, I can finally enjoy the game and take a bit of a video, because obviously I do vlogs and this, that, and the other. And then Ghana was starting to get into the match, playing a bit better, but Nigeria was still 2 in front. And then Thomas Asante, who plays for Coventry, I think, in attack. I'm fairly sure he plays for Coventry. Scores this really lovely goal. It was good team move, actually. And the whole Ghanaian end. And this is, look, I know we lost, and it was 2-1 to Nigeria, which I was gutted about. But that experience for 2 to 3 minutes after Ghana scored, and this is kind of the thing that I wanted to talk about the most, was it was one of the best 5 to 10 minutes of my life. Genuinely, 100%. The songs, the atmosphere, the ole ole ole's. Obviously, I didn't, because I don't speak a dialect of Ghanaian. My father spoke in Ewe. Someone correct me in the comments. I think Dad used to say it was called Ewe. Anyway, so I didn't know a lot of the songs that were going on, but I was like trying to join in this, that, and the other. Me and my brother are trying to sing along. So we're both English lads, and we're like, "Have you got a clue?" It's like, nah, no, but let's just sing anyway. And for the last 25 minutes, to be fair, Ghana actually played very well. I mean, it was a bit of a understrength team, obviously, because I mean, Kudus wasn't in and Semenyo wasn't in. I think Jordan did play. Fawatu was injured. I don't think Party was there, which from my point of view is probably a good thing, but I will we'll just move on from that quickly, because I have my opinions. Anyway, and like I said, I mean, Ghana in the end should have equalised. I mean, I don't know who the bloke was at the end. I don't think it was Asante, but there was this Ghanaian striker run straight through, because obviously I know most of the Ghana squad, but like I didn't know who this guy was, so I don't know if it was a young youth player. And this guy runs straight through. I'm like, here we go, he's the equaliser. And I mean, I don't know if he was aiming to go over the top of the stadium roof, but he did a very good job. And the Ghanaians behind me were going absolutely mental, calling this poor young man like a fool and an idiot, this, that, and the other. But to be fair, I mean, it was still, like I said, one thing that will live with me forever was the atmosphere, especially after Ghana scored, and it was amazing being in that atmosphere. And I suppose the point of the video is I just wanted to thank everyone that went to that game, even the Nigerians, yeah, even you guys. We did beat you 4-1, by the way. Ha. And I guess I just want to thank everyone there, because it was, I don't know how to put this, basically. It was like I felt I belonged, at least for 20, 30 minutes, because obviously a lot of British Ghanaians will know, and I'm not going to go deep into this, obviously everyone's got their own experience, but when you're when you're mixed heritage of anywhere. I mean, you could be Cuban and Swedish or something like that and live in Sweden. I don't know, whatever. Obviously, you've always got that outer worldly bit of you where you're like, well, which part of me am I meant to be listening to? And sometimes you do feel a little bit, even in your own country, that you don't kind of belong. And obviously, this is no offence to. I've generally always been treated well in England, save a few idiots, like most other countries. But there's always been part of me, especially since my old fella died, where, especially after he did die, where I just felt as if something had broken and I'd lost something. And this match, as stupid as it sounds, I know a lot of the Ghanaians would be fuming going on the way home. So obviously their experience is different than mine. Also, Chelsea won the Conference League as well, which as a Liverpool fan, I was just like, well, I mean, this evening couldn't get much better, could it? Have your wallet stolen, Chelsea win a trophy, and then there's no Kudus and no bloody Semenya. So, but it was all completely worth it just for that last 25 minutes. It was amazing. So I guess I just wanted to say, really, just thank you to all the Ghanaians there for making me feel like I belonged for once. I don't know. I did. It's probably just me being an idiot, whatever, waffling on. But yeah, it was a wonderful experience, and I really do hope that Ghana will come back to England. I would love to go and see Ghana play in the Accra Sports Stadium or Kumasi or wherever that Ghana actually play. That's one of my bucket lists, is obviously to go back. I mean, I need to go back to Ghana because I've not been for like 25, 30 years, whatever it is. But I'd just like to go back, and I would love to time it to see Ghana play in Accra, basically, or wherever else Ghana will play. In Ghana, basically. So, yeah, I do hope they come back. I mean, you would hope with Ghana's raised profile now, because at the end of the day, we are a five-time World Cup quad. Shout out to the wrestling fans, you'll know what I mean. Yeah, and we've got a lot of good players now. I mean, these aren't just good players. I mean, these are like borderline international superstars, one or two of them we've got. So you'd like to hope that we'd be given an invitation at some point. I mean, the England match was in 2011, so being one of the better teams, you'd like to think that maybe England would play Ghana again at some point. I mean, I haven't lost hope for next year, because obviously if England get drawn against an African team, maybe they want some opposition to practice on. Hopefully. I mean, who knows? I mean, I could face the ultimate 50-50, because obviously all my family are English over here, and like, Ghana will draw England in a tournament one day before I leave this earth. It will definitely happen. I mean, the friendly was fine because it was like a couple of my mates watched it, and it was all good natured and this, that, and the other, but it was just friendly. Obviously, if Ghana did play England in a second round, for example, that would put me in a slightly awkward position, and I think it would probably be better if I watched it in the house, for obvious reasons, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, you never know, so. But yeah, I'm rambling. Anyway, basically, folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble. And like I said, just thank you to everyone who went to that match. It was a brilliant experience. I wish I'd seen it with my father. But I got to see it with his son, and I love my brother very much, and it was a beautiful thing that we both experienced. Apart from Nigeria winning, that bit sucks. But yeah, no, it was a fantastic 2 days, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Interestingly enough, we'd actually just been to the Liverpool parade. Come back, he went to work, I went to sleep. And then he drove us from, no he didn't actually, we got the National Express. So this is literally like we got back from the Liverpool parade at like, I don't know, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning or something stupid like that. And then literally about 26 hours later, we're back on the coach, and we were shattered. But yeah, it was totally worth it, totally worth it. So yeah, hope you like that little story. Yeah, shout out to all Ghanaians. Like I said, obviously, folks, all subscribers, you're more than welcome to listen to my stories. If you're a horror fan, if you're a comic fan, Pride fan, if you are a wrestling fan, Liverpool fan, football fan, or even if you just want to watch. Yeah, and I suppose the last thing I want to say is, if you do struggle a bit like me with the dual heritage thing and you do feel a bit lost, and you do sometimes feel as if, man, I don't know where I actually belong, you are not the only one, and it's not weird. Trust me. I mean, especially to the younger people out there, if you do feel like that, just talk to people about it, 'cause people will be far more understanding than you know. It's something I do still struggle with, and I wish I knew a lot more about Ghana and where my place in the world is, and I'm going to try and rectify that. But yeah, you are not weird. It's just one of those things that you've got to go through, but you'll get through it. Anyway, that's enough Dr. Phil from me. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone that attended this. Congratulations, Nigeria. And yeah, just thanks to all the Ghanaians out there. It was brilliant last half an hour, and it's something that I'll never forget. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.